60-hour weeks and not burnt out? I know you're looking at me and saying, that's not possible. Uh, It is. So this is me currently, and yes, it is possible. Now, I don't always work 60-hour weeks, but most of the time, I probably do between 50 and 60, and I'm not burnt out. I feel better than I ever have. So I know you're probably asking, Deidre, how is that possible? So let's talk about how you can also prevent burnout and create the lifestyle you want, right? So some people are fine working 60 hours. Some people want to work less. It's all individual, but it's knowing what you want. So how do we prevent burnout before it starts? So if you want or need to work that 60-hour week, you can. This starts with periodically examining your priorities because our priorities are going to shift based on seasons and seasons in life. So meaning fall, winter, spring, summer, priorities might shift, right? Or seasons you're in. If you have small children, what's priority there to when they're in middle school and high school is not going to be the same. So we have to always be examining our priorities. We have to do that self-reflection to make sure you're still prioritizing self-care and soul-care activities. This is how I can work a 60-hour week and not get burnt out. I know my signs, as talked about in a previous video. And when I recognize them, I cut back on work and I take care of myself. And when my energy comes back up, I will lean back into my work hours when needed. But I have that self-awareness and I'm examining my priorities all the time. So you can too, but reflect and make sure your self-care and soul-care activities are still happening. And I'm going to reiterate this multiple times in multiple videos. Pay attention to any small change in your routine, right? That is the first sign that you're probably experiencing stress, and it's probably been that state for a little too long, or you don't see that clear end. So we have to pay attention to changes in our routine to know I got to make a shift and I got to do something different. Because the most important thing you can do to prevent burnout is to keep your priorities your main focus. Let go of everything else around you. That is first and foremost. We can't do it all. We're not superhuman as much as we try to be. So we have to focus on our priorities and not somebody else's. I also want you to learn to listen to your mind and your body. It will tell you if you're starting to get burnt out or you need to do something different to take care of yourself. It will tell you, right? Those small aches and pains, that foggy brain, that difficulty concentrating, if those are not normal, let's make a change. Because when you put your own health above your job and other requirements in life, you will do much better. You will be more successful in everything you do because you put your health first. But burnout isn't always a one and done process, right? Like I mentioned before, priorities change because life is always changing, right? So when life changes, our priorities change and we have to change with those. So it has to be an ongoing assessment. It's an ongoing process of assessing and readjusting. And I hear this all the time. We like routine. I just want what's going to work permanently, but it's not going to be permanent. I wish it was, but it's not because life's not constant. What's going on in our life is not constant, I should say. So you have to be okay with reassessing and readjusting all the time. So be sure to check in with yourself so you can stay on track, right? So what this would look like is once a week, I want you to evaluate your energy levels. Have they changed? Have they dropped? Have they increased? Has there been any changes to your routine? Start to scan your body for signs something negative has shown up or shifted, right? So for example, if I'm feeling anxious, and this happens for all of us, if anxiety comes up in the body, we hold our breath or we're not breathing very deep. So I'm only feeling or noticing my chest slightly rise because it's very shallow or slow. That's a sign that anxiety has shown up and I need to make a change. And so you can notice any of those shifts in your body if you start scanning your body. But what's the difference between a burnout free life and just surviving, right? Surviving is a natural function when your body senses danger, which typically is a stressful event. Stress increases our survival mode at the nervous system level, right? Surviving says, I just have to get through this week, or I just have to get through this next crisis. If we're in survival mode, we might be thinking, there's no point in making a change. This is normal. I'm telling you, it is not normal. Let's get out of it. So that's survival mode. But a burnout free life is believing you deserve better and can create better. You can, and I can. We all can. It's determining what you will and won't tolerate, right? I have another video on boundaries. We cross our own boundaries, but boundaries tell people how to treat us. But we have to decide what we will and won't tolerate in order to enjoy that aspect of life. You need to know your worth and know your limits, right? Know what you can and can't do, but know your worth. You are of value to the people around you. And finally, I want you to protect your health and your time. Those are the two most valuable commodities you have in life, your health and your time. And they need to be for you so you can keep feeding into other people. But you got this.